Hello and welcome to Ways to Change the World. I'm Krishnan guru-murthy, and this is the podcast in which we talk to extraordinary people about the big ideas in their lives and the events that have helped shape them. My guest this week is, well, he's a superstar, really. He's one of the most famous people I think I've ever interviewed.
Oh my God.
But he became famous on the internet. And a lot of people in TV and a lot of people our age, my age, didn't really know who he was. But now he's sort of inescapable because he is a YouTuber, a singer, a rapper, a boxer, an entertainer, KSI.
Yeah.
Real name JJ.
Yeah.
Welcome to the podcast.
Wow, what an intro.
So let's start talking about the album. I mean, because you've done so many things in your life so far. So is music becoming your thing, your priority?
Well, I mean, I've been doing music for 10 plus years, and yeah, I'd say it is a big part of my career. I've always enjoyed doing it. It's a huge hobby of mine, and now it's become, essentially a big part of my career. And yeah, I just love making music and putting it out there and seeing what people think, and just improving my craft and improving, my singing, my rapping, just being a better artist in general.
And do you think of yourself as a musician? How do you think of yourself?
I feel like I am a musician now. Yeah, I feel like, I've definitely doubted myself, but I feel now I'm in a position where I am a musician, especially with my charting success and, the responses I get from people who are excited to hear my music nowadays. I feel like, I'm now in that space where I believe I am a musician.
Because for you, it's about streaming rather than album sales, isn't it?
Well, I mean, it is all album sales, but I guess, with buying physical sales, my audience is a lot more, they're more into streaming rather than buying physicals. So
there's a story out today that MPs are calling for a reorganisation of the way streaming pays artists.
Yeah.
Because they're saying emerging artists are being ripped off effectively. I mean, how does it work for you, and what do you think about that?
Well, for me, I guess with YouTube, where I started, YouTube has always been, I believe it's about 50% YouTube and 50% the YouTuber, whereas it's 16% for emerging artists. On Spotify is a bit sad, and it definitely doesn't make life easy, especially after a pandemic. It just makes life very hard for any artist to ever make enough money to continue their career. So I feel like 50% is fair.
What you're really innovating with, though, is pay-per-view shows.
Yeah.
And you've got a big show coming up.
Yes, the KSI show.
The KSI show. Just how's that going to work?
So it's pretty much something that's not really been done before. I want it to be this online experience, which is the best thing that people see. So it's got, skits, it's got music, it's got, my whole career, my whole journey on YouTube to where I am today with the music, the boxing, etc., all added in to this one bit. I include, the mainstream and social media, bring those worlds together and essentially create this show for people to enjoy.
Now, in terms of the kind of artist you are, I mean, obviously you became huge on the internet, and you were massive on the internet, and TV was sort of irrelevant.
I mean, I feel like it's still relevant. It's still there.
That's the question. I mean, I wonder, do you think TV is dead?
No, I definitely know there's an audience out there, who watch TV, and I think it's, a good idea to make sure to tap into that and not just to be naive and forget that exists and just be in my own bubble with the internet. I feel like it's smart to branch out of that and hit radio and hit, TV and all these other industries, just to dip my toe into everything. I mean, that's what my whole life is.
But how surprised were you that you didn't need them? I mean, you didn't need radio play or TV to become a huge figure. It just it happened online naturally with your audience. So was that planned, or was it? It just happened.
It just happened. It wasn't planned at all. If it was planned, I'd be a lot more smart in my past. But with everything, it's just organic. It just happened, and I kind of just went with the flow. Those opportunities that came about, and I just capitalized on all of them.
How did it begin then?
So it started in my bedroom. Just making videos. I wasn't even doing like face cam or live commentary. It was just me playing games and showing me do skills and then posting it online. And I put music in the background just to make it cool. I put some little edits. I learned how to edit on Sony Vegas. And yeah, I just did it all on like FIFA.
So for all those parents who don't, I don't understand why my child watches other people playing games.
Yeah.
Like, they're not playing themselves, they're watching other people playing. What is the appeal? Why is that popular?
I don't know. It's kind of like you watching a football game, as in like an actual football match. A lot of people go, oh, why would you watch that? It doesn't do anything for you. But it's just entertaining. And the same with, me when back in the day playing FIFA or, now doing Reddit videos or doing try not to laugh videos. It's just entertaining and people will like watching it.
So when did you decide to turn the camera on?
I turned the camera on when I was about 17, 18, and I lost a load of subscribers. A lot of people were like, oh my God, you're black? Unsubscribe.
Really? Do you think that's what happened?
I saw it in the comments. But it's fine. It is what it is.
That's astonishing, actually. You actually think people turned off because...
Well, I guess because I went to a private school and I spoke a certain way, they thought...
So you think they thought you were white?
Yeah, just from my voice, yeah. I sounded very different to how I sound now, so...
Oh, what was your posh voice?
I don't even know, like, how I could... I would be saying Shah, and I don't know.
So how did it move on from there?
How did it move on? I just kind of continued doing the whole FIFA stuff. It was working for me. I enjoyed it, and I would implement my music into it. I'd do little raps while playing, and just trying to make it as entertaining as possible. Because, I know, like, as a viewer, no one wants to see the same thing over and over again. So I always like switch it up, and I got people excited to see the next episode of something or the next video of something, and I always just try different things and try pranks and skits and all these other random things just to be entertaining for my audience. Because I just know, like, I saw myself as a broadcasting station, and I was like, okay, let me just figure out different ways to captivate different audiences on YouTube while try and entertain most of them.
And were you growing up watching YouTube?
Yeah,
watching TV?
Yeah, so I was watching YouTube. I was just all YouTube. Yeah.
So you were never a child of TV at all?
Oh no, of course I was. Yeah. I was before the internet and everything. Dial up and I had all of that. I had like cassette tapes.
So what would you say your influences were? Growing up. What did you like?
I guess WWE. I used to watch a lot of WWE, anime, Dragon Ball Z. Music-wise, lots of R&B. People like Usher, Luther Vandross, Mary J. Blige. Yeah, and then the internet came, and then I was like, oh my God, there's more than just R&B. And then I was just obsessed with like all types of music, from rock to rap to grime to just different levels of music. Yeah.
What did your mum and dad make of all this? They came from Africa.
Yep.
Where from?
Nigeria, Lagos.
Nigeria.
Yeah.
And they'd come here to put their child into private school.
Yeah, worked very hard. Worked 2 jobs in that.
What did they want for you?
They wanted me to become a lawyer, doctor. They saved up a load of money. They hardly went to any parties. They would all just keep saving, working, keep saving. And then they would buy houses and then mortgage them just to, again, find more money to put us into private school, me and my bro. And then I threw it all away because I wanted to do YouTube. So you can understand why they were very angry.
Were they?
They were furious. They were like, we spent all this money, we spent all this time trying to get you into this, into a good school, in good uni, to become, a lawyer, doctor, all these jobs that they expect. And then I was like, nah, I'd much rather just do this YouTube thing. And they were like, obviously YouTube isn't what it is now. Back then, YouTube was just this website that no one knew. No one was making money from it. It was just a website. And my parents were like, what if YouTube just died tomorrow? What would you do then? And I just told my mom I'd be screwed. But until then, I'm just going to keep going and seeing where we go with it. And I knew, like, especially once money started coming into play, I was like, oh, there is definitely something here. And that's why I just worked hard and, you know, to prove to my parents that I could make a career out of this. And eventually, once I started making a decent amount, they were like, yeah, we're proud of you.
Because you were making money as a teenager.
Yeah. I remember I asked my my teacher, I was like, yo, I'm making about 1,500 a month. And he was like, damn, you're making more than me. And I was like, all right, I'm off. See ya.
And did you were you good at school? Were you academic?
I was okay. I was just like an average, maybe a slightly above average student. I'd just get A's and B's, and it was just okay. But, you know, my focus was just on YouTube, and that's when I started on a C, D, E, U. I got a U in maths for A levels. That was mad. I literally wrote my name, and I opened the paper and went, I have no idea what this is. I'm done. And it was literally an hour and a half of me just sitting, staring at my hands like, I'm finished.
So how did you create your KSI? You know, and why KSI?
So KSI actually came from a Halo clan. So there's this Halo clan called KSI. And I, as a kid, really wanted to join the clan. So my name was just Olujide BT on Xbox 360, on the Xbox 360. So, you know, I remember going to this chat and being like, oh, I want to be part of the KSI clan. And they were like, oh, okay, you're going to have to change your name to KSI Olujide BT, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, all right, cool. I've changed it. Oh my God, am I part of the clan? And they were like, yeah, welcome. And I'm like, yo, this is sick. And then eventually, obviously, the whole Halo phase went. And I was just stuck with this name. So I kind of just kept the whole KSI part and just made it my own. And now it's crazy because that clan is just fuming because now they all look like fanboys of me. So it's worked out.
But your friends call you JJ.
Yeah, JJ.
And your family as well.
Yeah. Unless my mom's really angry with me, then she says my full name.
How does it go?
Olejide Olatunji.
And so how did KSI sort of, well, not become, but what happened with the Sidemen? How did the Sidemen come about?
Oh, the Sidemen. So the Sidemen is just this YouTube group that we created like over 7 years ago, or almost 7 years now. And we just thought it'd make sense to have a YouTube group. We saw other YouTubers create their own groups as well, and they were doing quite well back then. So we were like, oh, let's do our own. So we made our own group, made a YouTube channel, and, you know, we'd post here and there just for each other. And then there was a period where we just stopped posting. We were all doing our own thing, and then we came back and we're like, oh, you know what, let's try and do this properly. And over the years now, we've really just gone ham, posting every day on the main channel. We have another channel where we post like 3 times a week. We have another channel where we post every day. And then we have another channel where we post like 2, 3 every day. So
you're working hard.
You could say that. I'm doing a fair amount. Yeah, like obviously I'm doing the music, doing press for the music, Sidemen channels, my own YouTube channels, and then training for like boxing. So yeah, it's a lot.
But what is your, I mean, what are your goals? I mean, are your goals about success and money and fame?
No, money is not a goal because I'm good in that direction. Now, for me, I think it's just legacy. I'm at a point now where I just have little goals in my life, and I don't really have like a big goal. I've never really had a big goal. I've kind of just gone through life and just, you know, just tried new things and just pushed myself to the limit. You know, it's crazy what the human body can do when you really push yourself. So I'm kind of just trying to reach that level. And I think I've got that mindset from, believe it or not, anime, Dragon Ball Z. Like with Goku, he always has a point where you think, oh, okay, he can't go any further. And then he reaches a new level. And it's like, oh, I'm kind of using that with myself. I always think, oh, okay, I've reached the pinnacle of my career. And then I go, you know what, let me see if I can push it more. And then I do, and then I'm like, oh, I'm now a Super Saiyan. So cringe.
But how did the entertainment industry respond? So, you know, you're hugely successful, you've got lots of followers, you're making lots of money. Presumably, there is an industry around you going, we want a piece of that.
Yeah, obviously there's quite a lot of big industry heads going, yeah, I want a piece of this kid who's just smashing it. And I'm in a position where
Have you had to sort of push them away?
well, I'm quite selective with like who I work with, and it's part of my brand, so it's got to make sense for me.
How on earth did boxing happen? Had you ever done it before?
Never in my life. So there's this guy called Joe Weller who I called out as a joke. I called him out saying like, oh, I'll fight you if you beat this person, and he did. And then he called me out and he was like, all right, let's go. And I was like, no, it was a joke. I'm sorry, I don't want to fight. Because I didn't know how to fight. I was just, I wasn't like in shape. I was just this guy playing games and all of that, doing random videos. And I was like, yo, nah, the boxing thing, that's long. That's a lot of work. And obviously we made a few videos and I got pushed into the fight. So I just trained hard, and I trained like my life depended on it. And
well, it kind of did.
Well, I mean, my whole career was on the line. If I had lost, I'd be a laughing. People would just, I'd be a laughing stock. People would just take the piss out of me.
Do you think that's what happened to Logan Paul when you beat him? Did he become a laughing stock?
I think yes and no. I think he did, but he's kind of managed to use it as a way to fuel him to, I guess, get the Mayweather fight. And even though he didn't really win that fight, he still managed to fight Mayweather and lost. And a lot of people saw that as a win for him. So yeah, he still managed to take an L and turn it into a W. So I guess he's quite smart in that essence.
And do you want to do more?
Boxing?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have my own boxing promotion company. Like, there's a reason for that.
So who do you want to fight?
I mean, there's a few people that, I've got, in my mind. I think I'd love to fight Mayweather. I believe your face. But I mean, if Logan was able to do it and I beat Logan, I think I'd be able to have a good crack at Mayweather. And with the Mayweather fight against Logan, there's a lot of things that I saw. I was like, oh, you know what? There's opportunities there. So I think there's that. There's this guy.
My face is about like, why would you put yourself in this date? You've got a pretty face.
Yeah.
Sort of. Why do you want to?
Well, I mean, because I've been through a camp and I've really, worked hard. I've been through like 3 camps now. I know what it takes, and I know what is needed to be done. And I've worked on a lot of things boxing wise. I've worked on my technique, because with Logan, my technique was a bit all over the place. So I was like, you know what, I need to work on that during, after the fight, and make sure I hone in my skills and just become a better boxer, because I have the power. Like, everyone keeps telling me I'm a powerful puncher, but it's just, being able to connect with the punch with my opponent is what I struggle with. So, I've been working on that, making sure I get better. And, that's just how I am. Like, even with music, boxing, YouTube, I always want to just improve and improve. So yeah, that's why I think I could fight Mayweather, or even if that doesn't happen, I could fight Austin McBroom, who's a YouTuber in America, and I think that'd be a good stepping stone into being able to fight Jake Paul eventually. So.
Do you all know each other? Some people go, oh, look, this is all fixed, isn't it?
Nah, so me and Jake are not cool. No. And I mean, me and Logan we respect each other. It's not like we're friends. We just respect each other. But yeah, with me and Jake, it's there's a lot of bad blood. Yeah. And
how has boxing helped you or changed you psychologically?
Oh, it's the best. It's the best thing. Like, it's just matured me. It's made me fitter. I don't know, it's just made me a better person in general. I feel like safer with myself. I'm able to defend myself. I'm able to just be healthy and, keep a clear mind. And I feel like, even with like exercise, releasing endorphins every time you exercise, it's all important. And before, I hardly ever exercised. And I understood why it just was terrible for my body, just not exercising. So now, with the whole boxing thing and, learning how to, fight and everything, it's just made me a better person in general. And I recommend it for everyone. You don't even have to fight. You can just train, and it's just great for people, yeah.
Because you're under a lot of pressure, aren't you? I mean, you know, when you're at the top of anything,
Yeah.
you're under a lot of pressure.
I don't really.
That's difficult psychologically.
I don't really feel the pressure, if that makes sense. I mean, I think the only thing I feel is the amount of work I have to do, you know, me being busy and, you know, getting on top of all of that. But, you know, pressure, there is no pressure. Like, I can, if I want to stop, I can just stop whenever I want. Whenever there's a pressure situation, I always rise to the situation. I always rise above it. And I just, you know, make diamonds in between those those times.
But there's a bit of a contradiction sometimes in what you say. So
Okay.
you know, you did an interview a couple of weeks ago.
Hit me.
In which you said you don't really think you have talent, and you were kind of thinking,
Yeah, I don't.
Well, that doesn't really make sense.
Well, I don't though. I don't. I'm not talented. You can literally see on my YouTube videos a kid who doesn't have any talent. He's just going, you know, doing his thing, and then, you know, you can see the progress of me working hard, you know, every single day, just improving as a person to where I am now. You know, it's taken me 10 years to get to this point, or 10 plus years. And, you know, I always say that I'm not talented. I just work hard. And that's why I tell everyone that you can do it as well. Like, anyone could be in the same position I'm in. You just have to work hard, you know, and, you know, exercise. You have to just really put yourself into this mode of what do I want in life. And for me, it's all about making sure I have the best legacy possible.
But there is something different about you, because there are loads of people trying to do what you've done.
Yeah.
And you know, even within the Sidemen,
Yeah.
you're sort of towering within that, and so there is something that's different about you.
But it's because I throw myself into things. Yeah, there's a lot of people that, for example, if they're given something, they go. Someone will go, oh, you can't do this, or you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't do that. And for me, I'd go, okay, let me try then. I'll show you. Whereas a lot of people would go, oh, why can't I do this? Maybe you're right. And then they start doubting themselves. So for me, I never doubt myself. I just put myself in it and I go, cool, let's see if I can sink or swim. And most of the time, I'm able to swim. And don't get me wrong, I've definitely sunk several times. I tried stand at one point, and that was terrible. I've done baking, that was bad.
I've done that.
Yeah. So like, I'm not like, I don't smash everything that I do, but like with certain things, you know, especially when I really apply myself, yeah, I do well, and then I just improve on that.
And you've learned from your mistakes, haven't you?
Yeah. I've made quite a few mistakes.
I mean, yeah, I sort of hesitate to bring it up, but let's bring it up.
No, it's fine.
You got into trouble over your attitudes towards women.
Yeah,
You were accused of misogyny.
Yes.
Over some videos that you posted regarding rape face.
Yeah.
And other language. So talk me through what happened.
So obviously during that time I was quite young, and I was living in a bubble, this like whole YouTube bubble where my audience were just gearing me on, saying, yeah, this is great, you know, of me making all this type of content. And, you know, back then, really edgy content did really well. So I was just like, oh, okay, if my audience love it and everyone loves it, then yeah, sure. I didn't know there was a world outside of that, you know. I was quite naive, and I didn't really know too much about the whole world and, you know, how things affect people, etc. I was just making content, and I was like, oh.
Is it because you were surrounded by boys, and a lot of your audience is boys?
No, I think it was just my audience just geared me on to do things, and I was just like, yeah, sure. And it was only when I got into trouble and people told me this is not on, then did I realize, oh, there's a world outside this whole bubble that I'm in, and I started to really understand the world that I live in and realize that I'm a role model and I need to be the best person I can for the kids that watch me and, you know, the teenagers, etc. that watch me. So, you know, since that situation, you know, I've just improved as a person and, you know, been super respectful to every woman.
What did women around you say?
Well, with the videos I made, they were just saying like it was outrageous. You know, they were calling me, you know, I'm a disgusting human being, and you know, I didn't realize or understand what I was actually doing. And you know, as a kid, I was just like, you know, I was a virgin at the time, so I didn't really talk to many women. I was quite, you know, to myself. And it was only when I started to really like I guess, put myself out there and start, going on dates and understanding women and properly talking to women, because I went to an all boys school, so I had no contact with women. And every time I talked to a woman, I'd just start shaking and sweating. So I was able to become a character with the YouTube and just pretend to be this confident person and make this content. Whereas, now, I'm just myself, and I don't have to like pretend to be a person. I can just be me and just.
And so, what do you think about the language that is used often in music and rap music?
Yeah.
And in the video, all the worlds you swim in.
Yeah.
They've got issues with their attitudes towards.
Yeah, I feel like
misogyny.
I feel like the misogyny is definitely becoming a lot less. Obviously, because a lot more people are calling it out, because it's just a bit outrageous. And I feel like women are, if anything, taking control of it and taking control of their own bodies, and how people are, essentially treat them. They're just like, oh, this is my body, you can't do anything. You see songs like WAP. You see how well that's done. A lot of women were like, yeah, this is my WAP, and this is doing the dances and all that. But it shows, they're taking control, and they're not letting men just, use women like they're just objects, etc. So I feel like we are improving. Obviously, we still got a long way to go, but I feel like, each year we are improving as a society.
What about race? I mean, you said you think you lost subscribers because they discovered you in those early days.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Sidemen then is a multi-ethnic group of guys, and race is clearly not a problem for you now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I still experience racism, but I just don't acknowledge it. I don't know. I just don't give people the power. So if people are racist to me, I just laugh it off and I go, all right, cool. And I just move on, rather than being like, oh, you can't be racist, you can't blah, blah, blah. Because then that gives them the power to want to say it more, and they realize, oh, okay, this triggers you, so I'm going to keep doing it. Whereas if you just ignore it and just, just move on. Obviously, like, I don't know, if this is how it works for me. Like, I don't know if this is for everyone, but for me, I just ignore it, and I just, make sure I work harder than everyone else, so that, I am in a position where they just can't affect me, and I'm able to just laugh at it.
You were at the football, weren't you, last week?
Yeah.
So what was that like?
Insane. The experience was amazing. Also, the crowd were going crazy. The Italians were going mental as well. And it was a great game. Obviously, it was close. Unluckily, we didn't get the W.
But you know a lot of these guys as well, don't you? Because you've done videos with Sterling and all sorts of people.
Yeah. So I messaged Saka actually. I told him, this will make you a better person. Using this energy of failure, using that energy to drive you to become better and become the best. And he's a young kid, and it was a lot of pressure for him to take the final penalty. And
what did you think? I mean, I was.
Obviously, I think everyone was
all
gutted.
just kind of like, oh my God, as he walked up, thinking, please get this in. Not just for the match, but for him.
Yeah, I think we were all hoping for the best, and we were all like, please, help, keep us in it. And, we were all gutted, but at the same time, we were all really proud. I mean, I was extremely proud of how far England got. Like, since 1966, we haven't reached the final. Like, in whether it's the Euros or the World Cup, we haven't reached the final. So to be in the final of the Euros 2021, I thought it was insane. And I was like, it excited me for the World Cup. I was like, yo, imagine what we could do for the World Cup, etc. So I don't know, I was just super proud of England, and it made me proud to be British.
And what do you think of what's happened since?
Obviously, again, it's the whole racism thing. I just disregard it. I'm just like, there's stupid people, and we shouldn't acknowledge them. We should just disregard them and just be like, those are stupid people who are just trying to ruin the amazing journey that England have made throughout this Euro. So.
And so for you now, I mean, so what do your parents think of what you're doing now?
I think
Are they proud of you?
Oh, super proud. They didn't expect any of this. They're like, I've definitely gone far and beyond their expectations.
And do you see what you're doing as the future of entertainment? You know, these kinds of shows, or do you think all of these things will coexist? You know, every time a new thing comes along,
Yeah.
people say the old technology is dead. So, you know, TV is sort of having a nervous breakdown at the moment because it thinks it's the internet and streaming taking over everything. Do you think all of these things can coexist?
I think TV is adapting though. You know, you've got, you know, ITV Hub, you've got BBC iPlayer, you've got all the, you know, Channel 4's got their own hub as well. I think they're just slowly adapting to the internet as well, to the point where they have their own shows where people will watch them online.
So what goals have you got left?
What goals have I got left? Oh, several. I need to do a festival. I've never done a festival before. I need, you know, doing Wembley. I need to do that. I've never done that before. I need a #1 album. I've never had that before. I need a #1 single. I've never had that before. You know, I've never been on the top 100 in the US, so I need to do that. You know, I need to have 50 million subscribers on YouTube. I haven't done that.
Are you in touch with your old schoolmates?
No.
What do you think they would say about you now?
I think some of them would hate to see me because, I mean, they definitely didn't expect me to be the person I am, because I was quite introverted. In fact, I was very, very introverted. I didn't go to any parties. I think I went to one. That was just a very rare occasion. I was 18 when I went to a sleepover, for my first sleepover. Yeah, I was a very different person. And to see me now on Channel 4, it's probably like, what?
Now, the podcast is called Ways to Change the World.
Yes.
So, if you could change the world in any way, wave a magic wand
Okay.
and make things better, what would you do?
Wow, what a question. I would cure all diseases, but then obviously there could be a problem with overpopulation. So that's what I'm trying to. Let's see. So that could be like, and then, you know, then there would be hardly any food, and then that would cause a load of problems with that.
So this particular way of changing the world isn't going well in your mind.
No.
So
I'm trying to think what could be great for everyone. Yeah, I guess, I don't know what, everyone gets 100K, but then, you know,
that's really interesting. I want to ask you more about that then, because I've seen your videos where you go and spend 100K on your fans. Now, in what way is that good? Isn't that just terrible consumer culture?
Well, I mean, we give them the option to spend it on anything, so...
They could give it to charity.
Well, they could give
Has anybody ever given it to charity?
No.
But bad people.
Yeah. But, you know, I guess, you know, we've implied to, you know, our audience, like, oh, maybe you could spend it on yourself to, you know, if you want to be a YouTuber, buy, you know, better camera equipment, or buy a better microphone, or a better, you know, just equipment for vlogging or gaming, etc. So, but a lot of times they just go straight to designer clothes, and I know things that don't really matter yet, I guess, for them. They need to focus on like how to further their career. But yeah, a lot of them just get excited, and I guess it makes sense. You know, when I was young, I was just like, oh, I want to buy designer this, I want a Lamborghini, and I made a song about it, and yeah, I want chains, and I want all these things. So.
Well, let me just finally then ask you about charity, because you do actually get involved in charity, don't you?
Yeah, whenever I can, yeah.
So tell me what's important to you.
With charity, it's just helping out as many people as possible, you know, helping out the unfortunate, and yeah, the people who have, I guess, been born into a situation that isn't in their control, and to make.
Do you have favourite charities?
No, I actually just give money to all types of charities, whether it's Black Lives Matter or mental health, etc. I just give a lot of money away. It's a current trend in my in my life. For me, I'm just there like, I've got enough money, so why not just help out as many people as possible? And then, I don't know, I just keep working harder and harder, and more money just gravitates towards me. So I'm just like, okay, cool, I'll just give away more. But
You're going to get a few requests now.
yeah, no, I get quite a few requests from like all types of people. I remember yesterday, someone came up to me and was just like, oh, thank you, you gave me 200 and something pounds. And I was like, I don't even remember. And they were like, yeah, you were just giving money to a load of people. And that helped pay for my holiday. I was like, oh, wow, well, good to see you. I was like, I have no idea, like, memory of doing that. But especially when I'm drunk, I give a lot of money away. It's really bad, yeah. So I don't drink as much anymore.
JJ, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much.
Pleasure's all mine, man.
Nice
Thank
to meet you.
Likewise.
I hope you enjoyed listening and watching that. You can watch all of these interviews on the Channel 4 News YouTube channel. Not quite as many subscribers as KSI, but you know, who knows, after this week, it could be a lot bigger. Our producer is Rachel Evans. Until next time, bye-bye.